Hey everybody, it's your old pal Chuck, and I'm back with another review. And today we are taking a look at, from the Transformers Power of the Primes line. This is Wave 3 Prime Masters, Megatronus, Solus Prime, and Quintus Prime, and their decoy armors. I got these figures off of Amazon. More on that at the end. We're starting off taking a look at Megatronus, who is wearing the Bomb Burst decoy armor. Bomb Burst is basically the front plate is all new. Everything else is taken from Skullgrin. If you've seen these before, they work the same way. Arms go up and down. The weapons can attach and be held in the decoy armor's hand. The Prime Master sits inside. This is actually the retail version of Megatronus. I do believe we took a look at Megatronus in the Blast-Off Combiner Wars figure that was part of Powers of the Prime Wars Trilogy Amazon box set. Excuse me. That's what it looks like. It's basically a Titan Master with a new back. This is, like I said, this is Skullgrin, so the weapon works the exact same way. It is a melee weapon. Basically, all the Decepticons were melee weapons in this line. That was the gimmick. Decepticons were melee weapons. Autobots were, blasters and such like that. I was hoping for more variety. I think it would have been cool if Megatronus came with like something retooled as the Requiem blaster. But, these little pieces are interchangeable, so if you want to grab a barrel off of like Cloudburst or something, slap it on, there you go. But, yep, that's about it. Nothing much more to say. Let's move on and look at the next figure. Okay, and here's Solus Prime with its decoy armor of Octopunch. And again, it's an all-new mold for the most part, even though I think these backs get reused. This, for some reason, came off. I think the plastic might be a little warped up here at the top, or the pegs aren't that long. But, it's Octopunch. Open it up. Here is Solus Prime. I think Solus Prime, the fancier version, came with the San Diego Comic-Con Primal Prime. But there it is. There's that. Weapon mode. Some people have said this is a crossbow because of the point here at the top. That is possible. But since, again, the gimmicks for the line, the Decepticons were melee weapons, I don't see them breaking that tradition. For just, of all characters, Octopunch. So I think this is like supposed to be some sort of old-style axe. A lot of the axes had the point here at the tip. But that's it. You got the handle. You can hold it different ways. Really wish these transformed a little bit more so they didn't just look like a shell and a robot with a thing on its back. But let's move on and take a look at the final figure. Okay, and here we have the star of the wave. This is Quintus Prime with Bludgeon. Bludgeon is actually one of the most beloved pretenders from the Generation 1 line. A lot of that has to do with his characterization in the Transformer comics when written by Simon Furman. Years ago, I actually heard a interview with him, and he basically said that, Bludgeon went from being like a $12 figure to over a $100 figure, and a lot of people credit that to his writing. And inside, of course, you have Quintus Prime. Again, I think the fancier version of this figure came with Primal Prime, the San Diego Comic-Con version. I could be wrong. I don't remember. I'm not that crazy into the Primes. They might have come with, those other Prime Wars figures. Actually, I think Solus may have come with whatchamacallit, Punch Counterpunch, but neither here nor there. So one thing I want to really talk about, because as I'm transforming Bludgeon, there was a little bit of initial disappointment that Bludgeon did not turn into a sword. And in fact, people thought it turned into a blaster. And yes, it does actually look like a blaster with this at the tip. Allow me to explain what this is. Bludgeon turns into something, and I hope I'm pronouncing it right, called a Kanabo. A kanabo was a weapon used by the Japanese samurai. It was basically a bat with a lot of metal or wooden studs and spikes all over it, and was a melee weapon. It was a beaten stick. Now, here's the thing with the kanabo. They could be small, like a slapjack size. They can be normal size, like a normal baseball bat. They can also be almost half a size taller than the samurai wielding it. That basically means bludgeon is in scale with Legends Deluxe, Voyager, and Leader class figures, even maybe the combined figures, because you can just give it to a Legends guy and say, hey, you know, this is one of the larger kanabos. It's actually, really look it up on Wikipedia, because the kanabo is something of a humorous part of Japanese culture and folklore, but that's what he turns into. I think that's really cool. I do want to mention, though, that like all the other shells, he does have the peg to hold this as like a projectile-based weapon. That's just how they were molded. Some people have said you can hold it here from the tip. I tried that. I felt like I was stressing the plastic in the hand and rubbing plastic paint off of either the hand or of the tip here. So that's a little disappointing. But, I mean, realistically, these weapons can be whatever you want. But technically, again, as a Decepticon, it is a melee weapon. So, and I really wish this could fold up more and cover up the whole, you know, samurai stuff underneath so it looked more like a bat. But who knows? Maybe down the line we'll actually get something that turns into a proper kanabo. And again, if I'm not pronouncing that correctly, I do apologize. But yeah, this is by far the coolest Decepticon, or I'll even say Prime Master weapon from the entire line. So yeah, we'll pause and I'll give you my final thoughts. Okay, so this is basically it. These are the last retail release Prime Masters for Powers of the Prime. These are the last decoy armors. There's nothing else coming. I mean, I don't expect Takara to pull something out of their butt. That like Wind Racer release that was supposed to come with the Brave Maximus, that never went past the concept stage, I don't think, because the pre-orders weren't met for the pre-order level for Brave Maximus, for that inclusion of Brave Maximus wasn't released. I mean, as we all know, Brave Maximus was made and was released and yada yada yada. Now for some not so fun stuff. These have been very hard to find, as well as with Wave 2 and Wave 3 of the regular Power of the Prime figures. I got these off of Amazon. Amazon are selling these for $10 each. In comparison, they're selling the Wave 1 and Wave 2 Prime Masters, not all of them, but a few of them, for $6 and change. The caveat being they are add-on items, which means you cannot buy them unless you're buying $25 worth of crap off of Amazon. I actually did not buy these shipped and sold by Amazon. I bought these for a third-party seller whose prices Amazon were matching. The reason I did that is they were a couple cents cheaper, and because it was a third-party seller, I did not have to pay sales tax, or else I would have ended up paying closer to $12 each per figure. That is far too much for what you get. So I cannot recommend going to Amazon right now, at the time of this recording, which is the day after my little ranting vlog, to get these. I'm hearing they're showing up in Target and Walmart. They might show up on Hasbro Toy Shop. You know, you got some hope there. I mean, these are fun accessories, but again, as another point, I had these displayed with Voyager class Hunger. Hunger is going for $25 on Amazon, which, by the way, is a great price for it. I think normal retail is closer to like $26, $27. I had these with him, And I actually stood there one day and I was doing the math. $10 each, this is $30. Voyager figure, $24. That's $54 to have one figure somewhat armored up. That's just a lot of money. Hunger should have come with a gun, but that's a rant for another review. So yeah, shop smart. You know, we speak with our wallets. And as of right now, Target, Walmart, Amazon, they're not stepping up to fill the gap that Toys R Us left behind like we thought they would. So we need to speak with our wallets and tell them you have to do better. Amazon is its own thing. Amazon is the bastion of scalpers and, you know, this and that. I mean, these you go. I think I saw them at one point. Like Bludgeon was going for $20. Forget that. But these are $5, $6 figures, maybe $7 the most. Don't pay $10 on Amazon. Don't. This is your old pal Chuck from Megatronus and Bombburst, Octopunch and Solus Prime, and Bludgeon with Quintus Prime. We will see you next time.